it's Michelle with TRC. Today we are going to do a sensory themed project. So we're going to make some shaving cream marbled paper, and we'll have an opportunity to just have some sensory play with this. You can get your hands all nice and messy. This is an activity that is appropriate for all of our levels. So if your participant is at home and feeling cooped up and missing TRC and missing getting to get in here in the art room and make messes, this is the perfect activity for you. So what we're going to need today is some shaving cream, any brand, any type, just as long as it foams. To make our fluffy paint, you'll need some glue, any kind of just Elmer's style school glue, just regular white glue. And then you'll need some food coloring. We have large bottles, so I've put that down into some smaller cups, whatever colors you have. And you'll need some paper, and potentially some like popsicle sticks or a pencil, just something to manipulate the shaving cream with. I also have on hand a squeegee, which if you don't have one of those, that's okay. You can use like a cake spatula or a ruler. You can use whatever you have on hand. You just want something that is basically going to be long and flat. So, and then I have some paper towels and a pan. And you can do this with a foil, like a disposable foil pan, or you can, this is just a cookie sheet, just whatever you have on hand. This is really a simple project, and it's mostly about having fun. So, and then if you want to just have some shaving cream sensory play, you can also include some small toys, like plastic toys, figurines, things like that, spoons, cups, just any small things that you have that you think that your participant could fill up with shaving cream, scoop out, play with, and have fun. Alright, so to get this project started, we're going to start off with just some simple shaving cream. We're going to just put some down on the pan. It doesn't have to be a lot. So, and at this point, you can let your participant play in the shaving cream. You can have, you know, little figurines to play with. They can just get their hands in and get nice and messy. It is a nice, fluffy, silky kind of a sensation and a texture, and you know, you can stack it up high or you can smash it out flat. So it's just fun to play with, and it's really easy to clean up. Just water and it will wash right off. So I'm just going to smooth this out a little bit so I have a nice surface to work on, and like you can see, it's a nice messy project, and I'm not going to worry about getting too messy on this. So I have green and blue food coloring because that was what I found quickly, what we had on hand. Like I said, this is a use what you have on hand kind of a project. You don't need a lot of special things to do this. And I'm just going to drip some colors just all around. And then from there, you can use your popsicle sticks or spoons or skewers, chopsticks, just whatever you have. And I'm just going to start to play around and swirl the colors back and forth. You want to try to maybe choose some colors that mix well together. So like green and blue is going to make, you know, like a teal or an aqua. They're not going to make a brown. If you use red and green together, it will make a brown. It can be very pretty, but you just you have to be careful not to like over mix it. So once I have some swirls that I think are pretty, I'm just going to take a piece of paper and lay it gently on top and press it down slightly. And this is something that your participant can totally do. You're just going to press it down in there, and even if you smash it all the way in, that's okay. And then you're going to peel it up, and it's going to take a good bit of the of the shaving cream with it, but that's okay. We're then going to put that onto another pan. So I will just switch my pans out real fast, you can see. And this is where my squeegee comes in handy. Your cake spatula, ruler, whatever you have on hand. Remember, we're not trying to overcomplicate this process. And you're just going to wipe away that excess shaving cream and reveal underneath that beautiful piece of marbled paper. Isn't that pretty? You could make these into note cards. You can use these as backgrounds on scrapbooking. Like, there's all kinds of different things you can do with this. I mean, there's the possibilities are really just endless. And I'm just using a heavier piece of paper, but regular copy paper will work. And then we'll just set that out to dry. Your excess shaving cream, you can actually just take that, scoop it right back down in. It's still usable. And you can do this process multiple times. So I'm just going to re-swirl what I've got going on. If you feel like you're losing some of that brightness in your colors, you can add more food coloring. This is really, really just a however you like it kind of a project. There's no right and wrong way for this one. And so, like, I can take another piece of paper and just lay it right down on there. And we'll just smash this one way down in there so you can see, like, it really isn't going to hurt anything. So switch out. And scrape it off. Now you can see that this one is has a little bit softer colors to it. And that's just because I was in an area on my shaving cream that didn't have as much of the bold colors. It had already been mixed a good bit, but it's still just as beautiful as the first one. And so you can just continue this process, like making more and more and more until you have little pieces of marbled paper all over your house, just as much as you want to put on there. And you can add glitter to these. So if I wanted to shake some glitter in, because if you know me at all, you know I love glitter. So we can throw a little glitter in there. Maybe we'll put a little bit more blue because that's my favorite color. So like I said, just play with it, enjoy it. It's about the process. Get one of these that has the glitter on it. Let's see, that's a nice spot with some glitter. Just gonna press it down in there good. Pull it up. Scrape it off real fast. Alright, looks like I lost most of my glitter, but that's okay. I can always sprinkle some more on. And it'll stick as it dries. And then after you've played with all of this and you've marbled your paper, the next step that you can do is you can turn this into fluffy paint. And the fluffy paint will stay fluffy, like it'll have dimension and texture to it. So what you're going to do for your fluffy paint is you're just going to take a portion of your shaving cream, and if you want to, you can mix it into a bowl, or you can just mix it straight on the pan if you don't want to make any extra mess. So I'm just going to portion off a little bit of my shaving cream because I don't need to make a ton of fluffy paint at the moment. And I'm going to open up my glue, and I'm going to pour about half as much, probably about half and half. So about as much glue as you think you have shaving cream. I didn't measure anything. It's not an exact science. So there's, again, you just kind of mix it up. This is really, really an easy peasy project. It's just messy and fun. So I'm just mixing, and I think this is a really pretty color, so I'm going to play with this color. Once I have the shaving cream and glue mixed, it does get kind of like a taffy, almost like texture to it. Like there's just a stringiness to it, like bubble gum. So you can just kind of feel a slight difference and see a slight difference in it. That's how you know you've got enough glue in there. If you get too much glue, you can always add some more shaving cream. If you don't have enough glue, just add some more in there. Like I said, really super simple. And then at this point, I can take I'm just going to move this out of the way. I can take my paper and I can use a popsicle stick, or if you have some little craft brushes, you can use a craft brush. And you can just scoop up the paint and start making shapes. So maybe I want to have a nice fluffy M for Michelle. So I'm just going to use my craft stick here, popsicle stick, and I'm just gonna lay it on there. I'm gonna let it be nice and thick and fluffy because that's what we want it to be. So, and you can add your food colorings on top of this still if you want to swirl with this and leave it fluffy. There's pretty much any kind of options that you could want. Like let's do some glitter on there, you know, just because we can, you know, and then we can even take our little paintbrush and swirl some of that glitter through our fluffy paint. And as you can see, my M is looking a little misshapen at this point. So I'm just going to use my brush, and I'm just going to kind of manipulate this nice fluffy textured paint so that I get more of the shape that I was looking for. Because once you put it on there, you can still play with it. So there we go. That looks a lot more like an M now. And I'm just going to sit this out to dry. It'll take between 24 and 48 hours to be completely dry. So you basically, once you get it set, once you get it how you like it, you just want to set it to the side and let it dry. Now I have some of these that I've already made, and I'll show to you because they've been drying for a little while. I'm just going to move my mess over a little bit. Now one thing that I will warn you with, if you are using food coloring for this project, you may end up with multicolored hands. It will wash off. It may take a day or two though, just so you know. And here are our finished products. These are papers that I marbled yesterday. And here is the first one from that batch, so it'll be the brightest. And you can take these and you could fold them, or you could glue them to the top of blank gift cards, note cards, to make blank cards so that you can send them to people during quarantine and all of that, to let people know that you're thinking about them. It's just a really great way to stay in touch. You could even turn this into an actual postcard. It could go through the mail just like this. So that's some ways that you could use this paper. This was my my fluffy cloud that I made out of the fluffy paint, and you can see that it's dry to the touch. It's staying fluffy. It's just kind of a nifty little thing. So yeah, and it's completely dry. I also made a little bird. I had some wiggly eyes to add to that, and I just set it right into the wet fluffy paint, and it stuck just fine. So there's my little bird that I made, and that's this project. So it's really quite simple. You can make some really cute things. and have a lot of fun doing it. So get out there, get messy, and enjoy.